Okay, this was one of my favorite stories that I saw because cancel culture, which I don't believe in. I believe that there is consequences for your actions. I don't think that slapping a label like cancel culture on it is in any way, shape, or form positive, because it just doesn't exist in my opinion. But that crowd is silent because awful announcing brought something to our attention that I wanted to go over. This was last week, but now it looks like it's just going to keep happening over and over again. So when Fox had their big kickoff, Urban Meyer was there. Now, as we know, Urban Meyer is a very controversial coach, which we'll get into momentarily. But Fox allegedly banned signs that related to Urban Meyer. Alejandro Zuniga said, devastated to report that Fox Big Noon Saturday has a no signs about Urban Meyer policy in effect. Interesting. Now, Awful Announcing says, the move comes after a social media push from Michigan fans to get a particular photo of Meyer on the broadcast of Saturday's show. The photo fans wanted shown on camera depicted Meyer posing with the young woman he was seen dancing inappropriately with in a video that went viral last fall. This is that picture. The woman the blonde was in his bar dancing on him after following a Jaguars defeat where Urban Meyer was like, you know what? Screw the team plane. I'm going to hang back. And it was very clear he was up to, it's very clear he was up to some inappropriate things. And Shelley Meyer probably didn't like it. However, he was fired after that. Not long after that, because he's really bad at coaching in the NFL ranks. Now, Awful Announcing said this seems like a bit of a double standard given that Fox had no such ban on Urban Meyer signs last week in Lincoln, Nebraska, when the network was actively pushing the narrative that Meyer could become the next head coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, which is a whole nother thing. There is no limit and is no bottom to what exactly these teams will do to win. It's very clear. But then Awful Announcing follows up, but apparently the rules are different in Ann Arbor. Despite Fox's strange push last week, it looks like Meyer will be staying at Fox and Big Noon Kickoff for the foreseeable future. All right, so let's talk about this. So Urban Meyer told the media when he was hired by the Jags that he vetted everybody. Meanwhile, Chris Doyle was a racist coach who made racist tropes when he was on the Iowa coaching staff, University of Iowa coaching staff. Many black players came out against him, and he was fired subsequently after those reports came out. Meyer looked like an idiot. This whole incident happened. Meyer looked like a total fool. There was the benching of star players, including James Robinson, where Trevor Lawrence even said, "What are you doing? We need him." That was on the sidelines of a Jaguars game. You saw the quotes that Trevor Lawrence gave as well, that they were dealing with a lot. A veteran receiver in Urban Meyer got into it. There was the report of Urban Meyer literally kicking the place kicker. I think his name is Josh Lambo. Kicking the place kicker on the Jacksonville Jaguars. So he assaulted a player. There was if we're getting into serious stuff, there was the looking the other way / alleged cover-up via Sports Illustrated's reporting that Urban Meyer and his family knew of Zach Smith, who was committing acts of DV against his wife. They look the other way. Him and Smith have a history dating back to the Utah Utes, and I believe Bowling Green. There was the stuff that happened at the University of Florida where he looked the other way with players doing criminal activities in order to win. There was the fact that he brought Larry Elder, who said George Zimmerman did nothing wrong and Donald Trump is the Messiah, blah, 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 brought him in to speak to the Ohio State Buckeyes. There was Urban Meyer going to the State of the Union when Donald Trump was president. There was Urban Meyer also going to Mar-a-Lago and being videoed with a bunch of people there, knowing, of course, what Donald Trump stands for. That's appalling. Knowing what Larry Elder stands for, that's appalling. But this is who he is. And a lot of these values fall in line with Republicanism. So knowing that he is a member of their party by all signs, knowing that he is to Fox bulletproof, the banning of signs is something, although to me personally, it is really not that surprising because in the end, they protect their own.